Hello everybody, Clive at 5 here bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary. This time a matchup between WhiteRa, the red Protoss in the 12 o'clock location, versus HeavensLighT, the blue Zerg in the 2 o'clock location. Now, I can't say I've ever heard of HeavensLighT, though I did notice that he was ranked fairly high on the ladder. He's, you know, mid-upper range Grandmaster at the time of this, of downloading this replay. And of course, we all know WhiteRa. He is from the Ukraine, played in Brood War, playing, of course, very actively in Wings of Liberty as well. Known for a lot of his distractionary tactics, the shuttle play, and now, of course, Warp Prism play in Wings of Liberty. So hopefully we'll get to see a bit of that, and we are spawning on close positions by air on Shattered Temple, so it would lend fairly well to some, you know, airdrop play, perhaps, for WhiteRa. And I look forward to seeing that if that should happen. In the meantime, though, throwing down Chrono Boost on those probes, so he's not going to go for anything super cheesy. Oh, he actually already put down a pylon here in the front, so it looks like he's going to go Forge Fast Expand. Not out of the ordinary. Well, you know, on Shattered Temple, it's I guess maybe a little bit riskier, just because even... well, on this map, the run distance is not that far at all. So, I guess, on the scale of Forge Fast Expands, this map is slightly on the risky scale, and, well, HeavensLighT is going Spawning Pool first, so I think with this Overlord, as he was cruising past WhiteRa's base here, as he didn't see anything blocking up the front, decided to go for the... spawning pool first. Let's see if he ends up trying to go aggressive and actually bring a drone out, so he might try to block this expansion going down, but it looks like WhiteRa is going to beat him, and yes, indeed does get that Nexus down before the drone arrives to block. HeavensLighT is putting down an expansion of his own, so he might just be going, yeah, he hasn't even started gas yet, so this isn't for any sort of a Ling bust or anything. He's just going for the queens, I'm guessing. For both of his expansions. So it looks like HeavensLighT's going to go super macro-oriented. And when my game stops freezing, I'll continue this commentary. Charming. What's it like to have a computer that doesn't suck, you guys? I have a fantastic graphics card. I have... well, I guess I wouldn't call it fantastic. Wow, that's annoying. I have a GTX 470, which, you know, it's... well, I guess there are a lot better graphics cards out there these days, but still, it's pretty dang good, and I'm still running off of a quad core, a Q6600. It's a Core 2 quad, and that's... I think the bottleneck, well, that and my RAM, my lack of RAM. I do have 4 gigs, but I don't know, I don't know. Could be better, I suppose. Breaking down these rocks, so I don't know, HeavensLighT looks like he could actually be going for a fast third. Doesn't have any tech at all, doesn't have any gas at all. That actually kind of concerns me. So that does, to me, sort of imply that he's going straight for a third. And look at this. WhiteRa just strolls in, checking this out, and he sees, hey, I guess some Zerglings are busting down the rocks here. So I'm wondering if this is going to elicit an aggressive response from WhiteRa to see, oh, nice blocking from this queen to try to keep the, oh, whoa. Maybe the probe can get in the base. Trying to draw that queen out so perhaps he can maneuver his way inside HeavensLighT's base to see what sort of tech is going on. He will not see anything, but of course that's what HeavensLighT wants to prevent, is that knowledge to whether or not, you know, is he going to expand or is he actually faking this and just busting down the rocks in his spare time while he's getting some sort of tech up. But no, in fact, it looks like he's going to just go ahead and plant down that hatchery right there as soon as he has the minerals. There he goes. And so, wow, I would be a little bit nervous right now, but WhiteRa going for a Stargate. So we're probably going to see, and this gets scouted right away. So I guess we're probably going to see Void Ray, I guess, because Void Ray, when you're attacking in the front, it's real easy to bring in some Void Rays and pick off, well, maybe a queen, or gas or something. Just an annoying thing. Man, there are a lot of Overlords flying around though, so I wouldn't be entirely surprised to see some Phoenix. But, well, I don't know. Man, this is kind of baffling to me. There's just so few units out on the board. Zealot single sentry, going for level 1 weapons, and 8 Zerglings and a few queens. So really, both these players, it's like they decided on a 10-minute no-rush game. We're 7.5 minutes in, and I'm looking forward to a little action. That's all I have to say. And it looks like the first Void Ray is out, and it might try to go around and harass some things, perhaps. I don't know what it's going to find. Honestly, what is it going to try to harass? Oh, and it looks like, well, yeah, since HeavensLighT saw the Stargate in production, he immediately put down the Spore Crawlers, and probably, I don't know what the timing of that eBay was. Evolutionary, not eBay, E-Chamber. And there goes the Roach Warren, so finally we're going to see some tech. And hey, that's nice of those Zerglings. Actually going to bust down the rocks for WhiteRa as well. Oh, well, I suppose it's on the opposite side of where he wants them busted down. But nevertheless, those Zerglings, they know their role in life. They are destined just to break down rocks for all eternity. Couple of Void Rays out now. Maybe they'll be able to get something done. There is a Spore Crawler there, but a couple of Void Rays. Oh, able to actually stay outside of the range of that Spore Crawler. Queen coming to the rescue, and it looks like they might be able to take down this gas before this Void Ray even loses any shields. Yes, indeed, the gas goes down. Oh, gotta bring that injured one to the back. And now actually going to be able to take down a Queen, I think. Instead, not going to focus on the Spore Crawler. Instead, one Void Ray actually going down. That's a little bit of a mistake. Too late of a response from WhiteRa on that. And, well, now taking down a Queen, so he kind of made up for it. But more Queens to the rescue. Roaches popping, by the way. And not a whole lot in production for WhiteRa. Just now realizing, oh crap, I have a bunch of money in the bank. I better produce something. Popping down 8 Stalkers. He should probably do something. He does have quite a few sentries, so he might be able to do okay against those roaches. We will have to wait and see. Though this map is fairly wide open, so it's difficult to get any sort of conclusive. Even if you do get an engagement along this, sort of pseudo choke area, it doesn't really work too well, even with some pretty good force fields. Force fields going down, roaches pulling back, and this hatchery is susceptible to going down, but WhiteRa gathering his forces. Nice couple of force fields there, splitting, actually only splitting off a few of those roaches. And so, WhiteRa electing to run a little bit. That might not have been the best maneuver, but wow, continuing to keep a lot of those roaches out of the battle. So WhiteRa looking strong at this point, but HeavensLighT continuing to produce a lot of units, bringing in more roaches, more queens, and wow. I'm actually surprised. No sentries left. 1 sentry left, and that's not enough to block out these roaches. WhiteRa actually might be forced to retreat here, and just warping all these units in right in the middle of the battle, and they're getting taken down before they can even fight. And when you're warping in Zealots here, it's not a good situation. Zealots are fine for when you have these sentries there to support with the, to block in the roaches with the force field, but that's definitely not the case. And now WhiteRa forced to pull back and regroup. His army looking incredibly weak, and combine that with the fact that, well, he is ahead in the Harvester count, but HeavensLighT does have this third, well, very very valuable gold expansion. And again, I just have to note, WhiteRa's mineral count is incredibly high at this point. He definitely needs to start thinking about, well, either expanding or trying to sort of, well, I don't think he can all in just because he doesn't have the army at this point. So he needs to get back on the economic route here. He's not going to prosper on 2 base very long. All he did was sort of slow mining at this base for a brief period of time, but as you can see, oh man, especially with the larva inject, that HeavensLight can just pump out way more drones as soon as he needs. He has plenty of roaches here, and I'm actually kind of baffled as to why WhiteRa doesn't even have a robotics facility out. He really needs, well, immortals against these roaches, and it's probably not going to be a long until HeavensLight starts transitioning into late game. In fact, he actually already has a Hydralisk den out, and he's researching those groove spines for the increased range. So WhiteRa really desperately needs Colossus, but he's nowhere near this right now. He has this, well, what's basically a useless Stargate right now, and a lot of gateways, but as you know, Hydralisk's incredibly powerful against gateway units, and, well, the one Void Ray is not going to last very long either. So, WhiteRa is actually looking to be in a lot of trouble. Hydralisks are now joining the mix, and though he has some nice force fields here, he has an opportunity to take down some of these roaches, and, well, I don't know, the roaches just have a really good concave, and it's actually turning into sort of a flank here, where WhiteRa is not in a position where he wants to be. Wow, more Hydralisks streaming in. WhiteRa desperately trying to warp in anything he can, bringing in those Zealots, but those are not going to do well against Hydralisks at all. The Hydralisks can not only destroy Zealots very easily, but they can kite. So wow, WhiteRa not looking so great, and man, just look at this creep spread, almost butting up against WhiteRa's natural here, and I don't think WhiteRa's going to be able to put down expansion even if he tries. He's definitely positioning for it, has the minerals, but this is just, it's not going to last long. He can't defend this because HeavensLight's army is larger than WhiteRa's, and he's on a 3rd base, so there's really very little way that he can come out ahead on this game, I think. And I don't want to call it too early because I want to keep it as suspenseful as possible for as long as possible, but this is not looking good for WhiteRa. Throwing down some cannons. Cannons not good against Hydralisk. Oh, probably to actually stop against the creep spread is what it is. Yeah, definitely doesn't want that creep spread to get any closer at all, but here comes the big engagement. Force field's going down, but there are just too few sentries, and the Hydralisks are up in the Stalkers' faces. Stalkers exploding in blue smoke immediately, and WhiteRa, GG's it. That was, wow, very swift work of WhiteRa, and wow, HeavensLight maybe slightly underestimated him. He may be, well, Grandmasters, but not very well known, I'm not sure. But wow, made quick work of WhiteRa, who just refused to tech up to where he needed to be to handle those roaches, and eventually the Hydralisks to follow. So, wow, good game. HeavensLight, thanks everyone for watching. Catch you next time.